Okay, I was requested to look into what happened to the Anasazi. I don't think anybody really knows what happened to them. They were a cliff-dwelling group and then just kind of disappeared. The Anasazi. What has happened to the Anasazi? What took place? Tower, okay? It was a tower moment for the Anasazi, and they were feeling perhaps pressured. Yeah, let's see what else we have. Eight of Swords, being bound mentally. Look like in probably a bit of a dark place, but let's see. The energy coming in was Eight of Wands. Feeling, now, in this case, usually Eight of Wands is something coming rapidly, okay? It's kind of like, I guess, the bamboo. The bamboo grows very rapidly. That's why they use it for a lot of things now, okay? So this came on quite rapidly, a tower moment, and they were just feeling mentally blocked, isolated. Okay. Above it, we had the Hierophant. So trying to figure out their way, experts, what they were getting. The challenge was a lot of things up in the air, and could be a lot of emotionality. It's a cups, Eight of Cups, okay? And the outcome is the beginning, the end, the Fool card, the journey, where they came from, where they went to, the start and the end. Outside influences. On one side, we have a new action that had taken place. And the other side, outside influence, was Queen of Cups, trying to look into what was there. I think it was trying to figure out their options, etc. Now it looks like there was, there's a waterfall happening there. Something to do with waterfalls. Underneath of it, the light, the sun is on their feeling of isolation and this feeling of being bound, crossing it. Was this feeling of fighting, battling their way, and that they wanted things to move forward, but very slow in taking place. That's what was crossing it. Again, underneath of it all was this juggling and this new idea that they had, okay? So it's not really saying what happened to them. It just says it was a tower moment that happened. Outside influences, a new action when it came to the emotions and things taking place, looking in that cup, seeing what's there, that things came on very rapidly. And I think they were looking for higher guidance when it came to it. But there were a lot of things up in the air when it came to, I guess, water situations, etc. And we had the beginning and the ending, their path, where it went. Maybe, now they did have water there, it looks like, but maybe something happened to the water where it wasn't viable anymore. And again, we had the sun and just feeling trapped, feeling bound. What was crossing it? The Knight of Swords. It's kind of, sometimes the Knight of Swords is about charging forward, but they're slaying dragons in this one. The fight. And things just crossing it on the long haul weren't moving forward quickly. It was like stalled out. And underneath of it all was this juggling, this new information that was coming up. Maybe they went to look for something better. But again, it was some sort of a tower moment. That came on rapidly, the beginning, the end, looking for guidance, but there was so much stuff up in the air, and the outside influences was a new action when it came to this being able to see what to do, where to go. So that's what I'm getting with them. Now, I don't know if they found, I don't think they found a lot of skeletons there and things. But they left and nobody knows what happened to them or why. Okay? I'm not really getting definitive answers with this. Well, I asked if there was illness, but it says there was something new that came in. The grounded activity, something new. And they were looking out. It's 4 of Cups, which is that disappointment, not liking what's coming, and feeling of, now, I don't know how you get feeling of loss with this, but that's what that 5 of Cups is, a feeling of loss. Maybe they felt like things couldn't continue to be sustained there because it looks, if you look at this, Ace of Pentacles, it seems like this moving is kind of stymied and they're looking off to the future to see what's coming in. And it looked like when you look at this 5 of Cups, you don't see loss there, okay? You see a thing that's provided, the things are there, but there's really nobody in there enjoying it. Outside, you see like a horse kind of looking in and a person maybe starting to come in. But I don't know, maybe they were worried that someone was going to be able to breach things there. So let me ask, did they feel like someone was going to invade there? Did they feel like they could no longer sustain where they were at? So it's not making sense. The center, King of Pentacles, you know, holding on to all your resources. And justice, feeling of justice, and a celebration. So it's not making sense. Justice, King of Pentacles. But there was a feeling of loss with that. And nightmare scenarios, which isn't making sense. And again, the things up in the air. Emotionality, things up in the air. So I don't know what they did. Did they make liquor out of the corn? Because there's a big celebration, but then they have these nightmare scenarios going on. There's justice, but then again, the feeling of loss and things up in the air again. So that's not making sense. All of them disappeared. Where did they go? Where did they go? Can it tell us? New action. Death, transition. And strength. Yeah, there was a movement. And looking at some history, and a new emotion. Again, came on rapidly. And they had the hangman. Things were overturned with a burden, a large burden. Ending of strength. The outside elements were an ending of strength, the death, the strength. New emotions of a burden. And moving because of a history. Rapidly came on this feeling of the hangman. So I don't know. It looks like, they were okay where they were. They had provisions, but all of a sudden there was some feeling of impending, perhaps impending doom. Okay? And they just left. I'm going to do this other deck and see if I get something different. So what happened, I'm going to ask again. There was a movement, okay? They were looking in the distance, decided to move. One side of it we had facing a loss again. And the other side of it, I think this leadership of an action. Now, when I see the cups, there's different colors. Maybe they were felt like they were losing some of their provisions. There was a struggle, feeling maybe embattled struggle. And the light, when it came to the people, I think that there was a struggle, feeling lost, and the people saw the light of this one man leader about the actions, okay? And they decided to follow him. But let's see what we have above it. Tempering. Wanting to temper, maybe being there, they started in that isolation, started to have arguments among themselves. Again, light on wanting to have better, more flush, and there was the burden carried by the people, okay? So let's see the outside influence. Not being totally in the light and the message about the action. Okay. Underneath of it, a new idea come in because they were having these nightmare scenarios. Crossing it. Not wanting to take it in and feeling pushed to the edge. Underneath of it was a feeling of justice and rapid movement. Rapid movement. Rapid justice. Crossing it, not wanting to take it in, being blocking things, feeling pushed to the edge, not being willing to look deeper, and new thing coming in with this. Maybe they started to get paranoid or something because the outside influences were this darker ideology of the message of an action. The people were feeling burdened, okay? There were arguments that they wanted to temper. They wanted to have a better life. They decided to go. There was a feeling of loss, of holding on to power. So that's what I get. Okay, as I was out getting chicken for the puppies, something that came in, the Anasazi may have been facing starvation. They may have been running out of the provisions. That's what came in. But I'm going to take my my deck, my Lenormand, and see if it's going to give us anything else. So about promises, rainbows. Maybe again, the rain didn't come. They weren't able to do the harvest. Underneath of it, it's key. So in this picture, again, we have a mesa there, and we have the rainbow over it. So it looked like the promise going into it, it's about the direction. The energy coming into it was about a direction, because things became very hard. The wheel, the crushing wheel. Now that's a crushing wheel that like you crush grain and stuff with as well. So again, maybe they were running out of the provisions. The challenge was the commitment, where they were at. And the outcome is looking under the surface to see what's there. Looking deeper under the surface. Okay, the outside influence is a divergent path. Now, is it divergent path because of the sun? Because of the heat? Or was it divergent path that they had this idea to go elsewhere? So we see the key underneath of it was some sort of a deception, maybe a false ideology happening. What was crossing it were the people journeying, going elsewhere. And underneath of it was the home of the people where they lived. So it looks like they were maybe looking for rain, looking for a better place, because the direction, things were just not getting better. Things were not getting better, so they were seeking a divergent path, a direction where to go, and looking deeper under the surface, because it looks like they were just having a really, my feeling was they were running out of provisions. They had places for the corn storage as well. Now, as I understand, during that time they were having massive droughts, and it could be that the water that they had there as well became maybe polluted. Maybe it was drying up for a bit of time. So with the fact of the difficulty with facing possible water difficulties, and also loss of provisions, and seeking something better, they left. Now there is no understanding of where they went, what happened to them. Maybe they dispersed to other places, because it looked like there was, again, a tower moment. There were arguments that were happening during that time as well. Seeking solutions, but things just weren't coming. And so it could have to do with that as well. Okay. Maybe people just died out on the way because of not having provisions to leave when they left. So I'm going to leave that here. I didn't get a real definitive on it, but that's the best I'm getting at this moment.